What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Full Court Talk podcast. I'm sure you guys remember him, but this is Evan. What's back? Welcome back.
How's it going, guys?
So, I'm excited to have you back. This is going to be a lot of fun. Um, we have a lot to talk about, but before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe. We have been putting out weekly podcasts. So, without further ado, let's get it. So topic number one, could Kyle Kuzma be traded this offseason? Kind of seems like he will be after his really bad playoff stint. Um, topic two, I know you're excited for this. Are the Phoenix Suns for real? If you guys don't know, Evan is a big Suns fan. Um, topic three, with the Nuggets going down so easily to the Suns, does this push Dame further away from the Blazers? And the last topic, will Kelly Oubre leave the Warriors? We'll see. But going
Interesting.
on to the first topic, Kyle Kuzma. I know my co-host CJ would be excited for this because he hates Kyle Kuzma. Um,
Yeah.
there's no way anyone likes him at this point. Let me read
No,
his playoff stats. 0.3 points a game on 29% of the field, 3.8 rebounds, and 1.1 assists. And he had the audacity to say he got better than the season.
dude, he laid a fat egg in the playoffs. You know, he laid a fat egg. Like you saw that one replay where he got that lob or whatever and should have just short missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, LeBron was so mad. I think from that point on, it was like just really downhill. I mean, granted, the Suns have good wing defenders in the playoffs, but with all that playoff experience last year in the bubble and the Suns, this being their first, go at it, you should have, dropped at least double digits, right? I mean, with you being what, one of the tertiary scorers on that team on the floor, you kind of get it going. So I think 100% they're going to try and move Kuzma, especially with that contract. He just signed.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to move because they need a lot of pieces again.
Yeah, and he didn't have a bad season. I think he averaged like 12 points a game, but he didn't improve at all. Like all of his numbers stayed pretty stagnant. Um,
Yeah,
and for a guy that had Anthony Davis out a lot of the season, you'd expect numbers to move up. And with even LeBron out, like he was kind of the full point, and he still just couldn't get it going. And especially with he going down so early in the Sun series, like you could put up better numbers. I saw he
yeah,
hit 15 points during the series, and it's like
yeah.
that's bad.
Wow, that's it. Yeah. I think watching Kuzma throughout the year, he looked like a spot up shooter to me. Like he would just hang out on that right wing or those corner shots and just take those shots. And I was like, that's not your game. Like when you were a rookie and you're going off, you're getting to the hoop, you're taking your mid range shots, all that stuff, being aggressive. I think now he just looks like a spot up shooter. It's like, just get back to what was working for you your rookie year, because I think that was when you're the most aggressive. Granted, LeBron wasn't there yet, but you were still, getting your shots off. You're what, first team all rookie. You're in the
He was
conversation for rookie
amazing.
of the year. Oh, 100%. He was great. He was like a big shock, coming out of Utah. It was just get back to being aggressive. You looked really passive. You look really unsure of yourself, really uncomfortable. You know, maybe go back to the bleached hair again. Because that worked for you last year.
Yeah, and I think the weird thing is like, it seemed like he got comfortable. Like out of how some guys just can't handle LA. He definitely can't handle
Yeah,
LA. Him like
yeah,
Instagram, he became an influencer, and he was just like,
yeah,
I don't have to try anymore. I got this big payday, and like it showed in the playoffs. He was terrible.
yeah.
But like, what do you
I think
what
I
do you
think
get
I
for a
think once
guy?
signing that, well, I think you can hate to say it, but you can get Oubre. Not that the Warriors would want Kuzma, but you know,
You're not
I
wrong.
think any replacement. I think any replacement for Kuzma is good at this point. I feel
Yeah,
like the Lakers really do need to solidify their bench again. That's their second unit needs help. So I do feel like for the Lakers getting Oubre would be helpful, or just I think I don't know. I don't really know where Kuzma would fit. You know, it's really hard to see Kuzma. out of LA, but I do think his time is really short.
Yeah. I was thinking the Knicks because they need another scorer, but the Knicks
Yeah, that's a good
have
one.
nothing to trade. When I was looking at their
Yeah.
stuff, like they really have no one to trade. Like you could do a sign trade, but there's no one worth signing and trading for, like a Bullet maybe, or you could get like a trade exception. Most don't even use the trade exception at this point, just because it's so hard to facilitate something like that. Like with the Gordon Hayward trade, the harshest discussion ever expired.
Yeah.
So
Terrible.
it's gonna be tough, but I think at this point it kind of seems they're done with the Kuzma experiment, so they might just trade it for nothing and let him go. But they're in a tough position. You know,
I think it's a big offseason for the Lakers though, because LeBron's like he's not getting any younger. AD's not getting any healthier, right?
That's the tough part. It's like he finally like stay healthy. He has a full off season, but
yeah, so I think that'll be really beneficial.
Yeah, and I want to know how bad groin injury was in the last game, because him putting it like that and out in 5 minutes when he looked just uncomfortable the entire time.
It was very reminiscent of KD in that game 6.
But at least
KD, I had that vibe.
Yeah, at least KD kept gunning. AD came out and had like I think 1 rebound. He didn't even hit the shot in 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was just very tentative. So I mean, it looked bad on the Lakers bench. I mean, the Lakers health staff, but you kind of want to go down swinging. You don't want to be like any regrets. Like I wish I gave it more. But
and like,
players' health always come first.
Yeah, and like from a perspective, like no matter what, like even if you're injured, you're gonna go out and try your best because you win, and like Anthony Davis is one of the best players in the league, so you have to go.
Yeah.
But that's tough for them. In terms of Kuzma, he needs to be dealt. I think we both agree on that.
Yeah.
In terms of what his best fit is, I don't know.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if the Lakers kept Ingram and they dealt Kuzma with Lonzo? Right? It's like,
or even
look at that
Lonzo,
difference.
Anything.
Yeah, having a true point guard, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think Schroeder was a true point guard this year. He was a scoring guard.
He should have fit so much better though. Like if you think about it, LeBron is the playmaker. So why don't you LeBron playmake and Schroeder come off screens and like just score? His only thing is score, but it kind of seemed like he won't be the point guard.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at last year, Schroeder was a problem in the bubble. Schroeder was a problem.
He was nice.
Yes, he was a problem.
He was good all season, and there's a reason why teams willing to give him $2 million this season, because he was really good past season. It's just that this season, like, his numbers were pretty good, but I think on a team with LeBron and AD, he just didn't get enough shots.
Yeah, it's really hard with that team, because if you think about it, that's 40 shots between the two of them,
Yeah.
So it's a lot of possessions there.
And then seeing Kuzma like chuck things off backboard, like that's gotta be heartbreaking for Schroeder too.
So true.
But so are the Suns for real this season? I'll let you go first. What do you think?
Dude, it's been a long time coming, man. Long time coming. I think we were talking before this recording. I do think this could be our year, depending who we face. I do think we match up well with the Jazz, and I do think the Clippers can be a problem, because supposedly the Clippers have the 2 of the best, wing defenders. But I think, with the coming out party for Book this postseason, along with, the mentorship of Chris Paul, I do think we do have a good chance of making out of the West. Like I said, the matchup against, Kawhi and Paul George, that could, defensively be a problem against Book and Chris, given their size, right? And, with Reggie Jackson hitting all these, oh my God, I'm such a shooter now, But I think, with us being 3-0 in the season against the Jazz, and I think we're 1-2 or 2-1 against the Clips, it'll be a good series, And I think the East, coming out of the East, I don't know who's coming out of the East, but it'll be a good series. It really is. It's such a toss-up with all these injuries, but I do think the Suns have a chance. For me, I think it's reminiscent of, that Warriors first title with Steph. A lot of people thought it was too early, but when they made it, they made it. I just think, I think we're really depth, or, we have a lot of depth on our team. Torrey Craig coming off the bench. As much as I hate Dario Saric, Dario Saric coming off the bench.
He's got nice hair.
We got the dancer. 100%. I know. We got the dancer, campaign, Cam Johnson, I do think we're a solid, solid team. If it's not this year, we'll contend next year again, Chris Paul will get that 2-year extension he wants. So I do think we're for real, It's nice to say it out loud, and not be ashamed of it, All these years being a Suns fan, it was just so bad, It's like the highlight of your, my being a Suns fan so far was a book dropping 70, or Steve Nash breaking his nose against Manu Ginobili, all these things, It's like, we made it, guys. We're on the up and up.
I mean, like, Devin Booker's insane. Yeah. I think that shot he hits the Lakers where he like it was Kobe like just like pump faking, and didn't even matter who was there. He just hit the shot anyways. I think we're finally realizing how good Devin Booker really is, because for a long time people just he was putting up empties, but he's a hooper. He is a guy that's gonna tough shots, and if you think about it, like this is a champion team. CP3 is one of the great guys of all time. He can play make. He can score the fuck he wants. He's still great on defense. Devin Booker is a guy you need. Every championship needs. He's a walking bucket. He's gonna hit any tough shot you put in front of him. And like you said, the support cast is ridiculous. DeAndre Ayton has not enough credit so far. He's 100%. Been insane. I think he's still 65% from the field. He's been insane.
Yeah.
And I think one of the low key great picks for them, Jay Crowder. Even though he couldn't buy a buck in the first season, defensively, of how much of a best he is, he's so good.
100%. Like he'll get in your head.
Oh yeah,
he gets in your head.
And when CP3 and Jay Crowder were trolling the Lakers, that was so beautiful. But I mean, the thing for me, like after this, it kind of proved to me the Nuggets just weren't that good. After Jamar went down.
Yeah. No.
Losing in 4 straight games is tough, but at least make it close. They lost by double digits every time. Until it was the last game. Game 4 was when they lost by 7. Each other game was not a blowout, but it wasn't close.
Yeah.
And Jokic,
I think the biggest thing was
I
think the biggest thing was, MPJ was supposed to be, it's supposed to be his coming up party this year too, right? With Jamal going down. MPJ just never showed up,
Yeah.
And then it was always like Monte Morris carrying the load. And then when Will Barton came back, it was Will Barton carrying the load. Because, Jokic, granted, he is the MVP, right? He can't, like Charles Barkley said, supposedly as an MVP, you can win 1 game. But it's hard when, the Phoenix team, is just so young, so, feisty. They're going to hound Jokic. So it's going to be hard for, just one person to single-handedly win a game. Yeah. Granted, they were close. And was it game maybe 3? But, Jokic can't do it by himself. MPJ was literally throwing up bricks.
Yeah. And I will say that Jokic ejection was not good.
Very soft.
It was weak.
Yeah.
Might have hit his nose.
Yeah.
Campaign went down. He got shot.
The dancer.
It was great thing. Like I will say that it was great. I thought he got shot, but
Yeah.
Either way, I mean,
I think,
you're 3-0.
I think,
So.
yeah, in a closeout game, you can't eject the MVP.
Oh
You
yeah.
can't. You
Yeah.
know,
If you
they were
rejected him
fighting
game
back
7,
that quarter too. Yeah,
that
they
was
were fighting back in that quarter too.
yeah.
You know, so that just, I mean, granted they got more feisty after that, but it, it took all the life out of that room. And then Chris Paul was just hitting shots after shot after shot.
He's so nasty. Like it's tough to like see that people are really writing him off after that Rockets stint, and then going to OKC and like turning that organization around almost, and doing it again with Suns. That's crazy.
It's the Chris Paul effect, man. The Chris Paul effect is a real thing.
Yeah, and like you don't realize how good he was on the Rockets until you see what it was like when he left. Because when he left, the Rockets just weren't the same.
No, like Russell Westbrook is not Chris Paul.
Not even close.
No. Two different players,
Yeah.
Totally. Like Chris Paul is a floor general, and then Russell Westbrook is just a tenacious guard, right?
Yeah.
Who just get after everything, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what Chris Paul's stat line this series was against the Nuggets?
A lot.
It was, I think it was 27 points with 63% from the field, 75% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. Okay, 63, 75, 100. You know how good that is? That's like 2K numbers, right?
Yeah.
That's like 2K numbers. So that, the Chris Paul effect is real, right? Like, come on, guys. How is he not our MVP of the league this year? Straight up floor general. Granted, Jokic had a good year, but Chris Paul, guys, oh my god.
I knew he shot really well, but 63% is ridiculous.
I know, over contested shots from getting MPJ in the screen and rolls, right? And then getting Aaron Gordon every so often,
That's great. That's great. Oh, yeah. And it's good on defense too. So yeah, that's impressive. MP,
it's crazy.
It was Steph, but
Oh, I can get on board with that one. I don't know how we only got 2 first place votes. That still blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't know that. But I do believe the finals champ is in this season between the Jazz or the Suns and Clippers if they can come back. With the Nets dealing with so many injuries, James Harden hamstrings are no joke. So that's tough.
Yeah.
And that ankle injury was bad for Kyrie.
It looked nasty.
It looked like Kawhi's injury for Zaza.
Yeah.
Giannis just slid right under him. And I don't think that was on purpose. I think it was just.
I don't think so.
Giannis is too big; just couldn't slow down.
Yeah.
But that looked really, really bad. So I don't know if he comes back, and I don't think he by himself is enough to go over Giannis and the Bucks at this point. And the Sixers are very hit or miss. I don't trust them to go all the way to the finals. The Suns are too deep to lose to the Bucks. Same thing.
Yeah,
with Jazz.
I think my dream scenario would be Steve Nash against the Suns and the Suns win.
That would be heartbreaking for Steve Nash.
I know, but that's like my dream scenario. It's like you could have coached us too, man.
You're petty.
I know. It's okay. I love Monty though. I love Monty so much.
Monty deserves all of the recognition in the world. He's been an outstanding coach.
I know. I was kind of bummed he didn't win Coach of the Year, but I do think Tibbs deserved it too for what he turned around in New York.
If Monty is in that position, I think they would just like any team New York getting to the, even if they were the 8th seed, they were gonna win it because New York is like the big market in the NBA. No matter who's coaching the team, they would have made it. But Tibbs did deserve it because I mean that Knicks team is it was so good. They were so good this defensively. They were disgusting.
Yeah. Tibbs really turned them around defensively.
And what's crazy is like Julius Randle was never known for defense, and he had a good defensive year here. He had a great year.
He really did.
So.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with either of them. I just want he got more recognition for that because he's in to get to the second West is so tough.
I know, and what we were like, one game off of being the number one overall seed, right? So all props to Monty and the
You
Chris
guys
Paul
kind of
effect.
dodged a bullet not getting that first seed.
Yeah, I do think having the 2 seed, we did have a somewhat of an easier route. An unhealthy LeBron, unhealthy AD, really shorthanded Nuggets team, or even the 29th defensive team in the Blazers, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was an easier route than, let's say, the Jazz, right?
Yeah.
Because Memphis was, granted they won one game, but they were tenacious, right?
Yeah. They
Dylan
fought
Brooks is
every game.
tenacious. Yeah. And then now having to go to the Clippers, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah. But, speaking of the Blazers, with the Nuggets going down easily after they, I think they won in 5 games, I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
6? Yeah, 6. And so does this push Dame away from the Blazers? They could have beaten the Nuggets. But, I mean, to me, yes. I think it's a bad look for the Blazers because they had them on the ropes. Dame drops 55 in a loss. You break a record. You almost break the NBA playoff record for most points in a game. And then you also break the most threes in a game, I believe.
Yeah.
And the Blazers just after that were defeated. Like it was from there. Like no chance they came back from that after Dame has such a historic night. And that's tough because the Blazers were supposed to be one of the top teams in the NBA, and to see them kind of like struggle and like limp this season, they never really found their footing. DJ was okay this season. Robert Covington was really bad to start the season. Nurkic was still dealing with injuries and just kind of slow all season. I think if I'm Dame, I'm wanting out. There's not more you can do with this Blazers team. There's no CJ is not going to get you anything good in terms of like a good running mate. He's not going to get you Paul George, who would be perfect to put it alongside Dame. Nurkic not going to get you anything. Robert sure as hell is not going to get you anything. You don't have any like young players to trade. Anthony Simmons is good, but he's not going to net you anything. You don't have any picks. So if I'm Dame out. But what do you think?
I think the only thing against that is we know how loyal Dame is, right?
Yeah.
Dame is probably, one of the most loyal players in the NBA. So I think he's ultimately gonna stay. I think this will be his last extension. But yeah, going back to the game, I think I was at game 6. Okay, we were up double digits going into half, I think, right? But then once the Nuggets started clawing back, I was like, God, Dame was just being really passive. I don't know why he was being so passive. He wasn't being aggressive at all. CJ was taking too many contested, shots. Granted, he makes them all the time. But I was like, damn. I think Dame needs to be more aggressive in that third quarter because that third quarter is where we lost it, right? Monty Morris hit that stupid freaking buzzer beater 3, whatever the hell he hit. Freaking Monty Morris in general, just where the hell did you come out of?
He's so good. He's the perfect backup.
Oh my God, he kicked their freaking butt in game 5, dude. It was like, when else are you gonna drop 27 against Dame's 55? Of course, that had to be freaking game 5, right? Oh. And then Aaron Gordon's BS corner 3, that was literally the most annoying shot. I was like, you're not even a shooter and you're gonna kill us with this. Oh my God. But yeah, I think we were just too heartbroken from game 5. Coming back from like that big loss, it's really hard to come back and win a closeout game.
Yeah.
But I do think Dame does need a new running mate. Maybe it's time, the CJ experiment's over, like you said. But with Terry Stotts gone, he was a really offensive-minded coach. Granted, look at our defensive stats: 29th in the NBA, unacceptable, right?
Yeah.
Granted, Dame doesn't play that much defense either, but Rocco, I think Rocco was hitting some shots, late in the season, some
He
threes,
he
man.
definitely got more comfortable as the season went on because I remember when I watched the Steph like 62-point game. He was terrible. Like
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
hitting shots left
bad.
and right.
Yeah,
But early on, and as the season went on, he was a lot more comfortable. He was really good on defense, and he finally hitting threes.
yeah. I think the biggest thing for me was I always said this a lot, but I really like Zach Collins. Zach Collins was a really versatile player for me. Defensively too. Like he could switch everything, right?
Yeah,
He could switch 1 through 5. And with him being out this entire season too, that didn't help at all. Nurkic is really laterally challenged, in my
yeah,
opinion. He has really slow feet. Cantor, he's just good on the glass. That's what I think. He has some post game here and there, but I do think CJ's time's almost about up. Norm was a good pickup, but I do think Gary Trent was just as good, right? Gary Trent was a spot up shooter this year. He was knocking shots in left and right ever since the bubble. That was his
yeah.
coming out party, right? So I think it
Yeah,
was tough for me to see Norm come in and get rid of Gary Trent, but Norm did help hit some big shots, but I think defensively we need to get a whole lot better. We need a
yeah,
defensive minded coach.
yeah. And I think that was the problem is that I think Dame's gonna look back at this as like that Norman Powell really showed where the organization's head is at because Gary Trent on for a big extension or a big
Yeah,
contract.
yeah,
And as good as he was, it kind of seems like the Blazers were like, we're not going to be you because he's going to get 15 to 20 million of how good he's
100.
playing.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, Norman Powell really good, but inserting a guy like that midway through the season, like you set him up for failure. Like there was no way he was going to average 20 points a game with
yeah,
two other guys who need to get their shots too. So it didn't make much sense to get a score for another score.
yeah.
So that's tough for them. And I think if I'm like, why did you trade our youngest best asset for a rent, essentially?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a good look. And going back to CJ, I think seeing the Cavs are interested in him. Maybe it'd be a Kevin, send him back home. That would be a good fit. And I think salaries would match because they're around the same. Was Kevin Love going to be healthy? Probably not. So you're taking CJ, who was for your organization, for an injury-prone big that hasn't played much in the recent years, and also does not play defense. So they're in a good position. They're in a very tough position.
I think Portland needs to get Dame a number 2 quick.
Yeah.
Because CJ is not a number 2. As much as we love him in the city, he's not a number 2.
Yeah. He's a 3-3.
Like, yeah, just like Luka and Porzingis. Porzingis, as much as as unicorny as he thinks he is, he's not a 2. He's a 3.
I give him
Right?
he's a fourth option to me at that point because he does all he does is shoot.
Yeah, he doesn't post up anymore. It's like, go back to what worked for you too.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Norm and Gary Trent, they were the same defensive wise. Think about it. Gary Trent was starting for CJ when CJ was out with that injury.
He was averaging like 20 points
Gary
a game.
Trent, yeah, Gary Trent is putting up like 21 points per game.
Yeah.
That's unreal, for like a third-year player, I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Only playing in the bubble last year, and then come on, Portland. I know we're a small market team, but
they really showed
keep Dame happy
with that trade. They were like, yeah, we're not going to retain you. I want to pay the luxury tax. It's a bad look.
It is. I do think Dame wants Nurkic back though, because I think their 1-5 pick and roll is good. It's almost as good as Jamal and Jokic's 1-5 pick and roll.
Yeah. I think if you can swing a trade for Paul George, good trade, but like the Clippers aren't going to get for nothing because they did the hemorrhage future to that man.
Yeah, I think the Clippers only blow it up if they lose.
Yeah, if they lose in the second round, blow it up. Which I mean, would too. There's not going. You don't have.
I would
You don't
let
have
Kawhi
anything
walk. I would just let Kawhi walk. It'd be nice. It would be so nice. Like just imagine that lineup, right? Steph, Clay, Dre, Kawhi, Wiseman. Like, who has a better 1 through 4 or even 1 through 5? You know,
the length on that would be ridiculous.
I know. And think about it. We still have Jordan Poole coming off the bench. Okay.
And JTA.
Yes. And Pascal. I think Pascal is nice.
He's gonna be good. But yeah, with the Blazers, they have a lot to go off of this season, and it's riding on the fact that Dame is, I guess, keeping out on what they do off season. I'm sure they're gonna keep him in the loop, and if he feeling like, oh, this trash, I'm out, and he's gonna be like, I'm just gonna request a trade. He's still like he just signed an extension in 2019, so he's still there till like 2024. He is stuck. But I think maybe he gives it one more season, and if he feels that this team is enough, I think he'll be like straight me in the Austin.
I just think Portland's also unlucky, right? Look at we hella missed on that Greg Oden thing, right?
Yeah,
terribly. And then we had Brandon Roy in his prime, and then Brandon Roy just has bad knees, That was tragic. And then now we have this team, right? This big problem, So I think it'll be interesting to see what we do this offseason. It's a big offseason for the Blazers too.
Yeah, and I think that the tough thing is like the West is just gonna get more tough. The Warriors are coming back. There's a lot of teams this season that are gonna have make or break off seasons, like Lakers, Blazers, even the Warriors. I would count. Clippers are gonna be in there.
I think Memphis is looking good.
Memphis is they're looking like a playoff team. You always have to worry about the Spurs as long as Popovich is alive. There are a ton of teams coming up this season, and this was essentially this is everyone's best season to win it, and a lot of teams blew it. Blazers blew it. Lakers obviously is their season, they blew it. Whoever goes down between the Suns, Jazz, or Clippers, they're gonna blow it. And especially with all the injuries happening within the Nets, the Bucks with DiVincenzo going down. Knock on wood, they've been okay other than the Embiid and Meniscus. It has been an injury-riddled season, and I know a lot of teams are ready for it to be done. But going on to last topic, Kelly Oubre, the Tsunami. Is he gonna leave? From a Warriors fan perspective, he's gonna leave. There's no way they retain it. $20 million is a lot. And then I don't know the exact numbers, but the Warriors, if they sign the $20 million deal, they would be paying I think like $60, $70 million for that contract because it's so above the luxury tax. I think a sign and trade is gonna be in the works, but what you for Oubre, he wants out, probably a trade exception. It's better than nothing, but not sure. I'm honestly so conflicted on what I want to do with Kelly because he got better.
Yeah,
but he's not gonna want at the bench. Clay's star.
No,
regardless.
Yeah.
So
I think for him it was like a confidence thing. Starting off so cold, so ass. Yeah. Especially coming off of last year in Phoenix, right? That was his. He had a good year in Phoenix last year. Yes.
Yeah.
And then coming off and going to the Warriors and just from the get-go, just being really ice cold, right?
Yeah.
I think getting his confidence, his swag back, he did get better as the season went on, but I do think Baze played way better than Oubre this year.
Yeah, which is saying something because Bazemore very miss.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I do think Oubre's gone.
yeah, there's
Oubre,
no
I
way
think
they're taking him.
Oubre knows his value, and I think he knows that if the Warriors do sign Steph this offseason, they're not gonna prioritize Oubre too, right?
Yeah,
So I think Oubre would be a good fit in LA.
yeah. The off ball play for him would be really nice. Especially next to like LeBron and with Ubre's corner reading could be really good for them.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I do think if Oubre were to stay, I do think, and if he's okay with taking a pay cut, I do think he'd be a good off-ball slasher, like he is, like how he played in Phoenix. He's a good off-ball slasher. He can do that. He'll hit shots, He'll be good in that second unit, right? Poole, JTA. No, what? Oubre, if Oubre does stay, Pascal. That's a solid, second group right there, right?
Yeah.
Because the Warriors, Mata was always strength in numbers, right? So it's always good to have a good bench. Like, look at the Suns, right? Hate to bring it back to the Suns, but having a good bench goes a long way.
No, I agree.
So,
like it is just so important. Like, look at the Warriors in the past. Strength and you need a good bench.
Yeah. So it would be nice to see Oubre stay, but I think it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, like from what it sounds like, he's for some going to get $20 million, which is crazy to me because he had a really bad season. But I think it's like shorter where he had a really good season last with the Suns, so people are going to pay him off of that, not off of this season.
Yeah.
But I also saw that the Miami Heat are interested in him. Could swing a Duncan Robinson, Kelly Oubre trade, maybe, but I'm not sure how it works. Because Duncan Robinson is to accept or decline a qualifying offer, and I think Duncan knows he can get more than $1 million a year. So
Duncan said he wants to go to a contender.
A contender that fits with.
Yeah, and tell me not, Duncan Robinson fits in the Warriors.
I think honestly, I would be scared of the Lakers.
If Duncan goes to the Lakers?
Because like if you think about it, like LeBron and shooters go hand in hand.
Yeah, the Kyle Korver, JR, Channing Frye, right? All those days, Ray Allen.
But
that would be annoying because I love Duncan Robinson.
I would have to after that.
Yeah,
and I
would love to see him on the Warriors.
I would love to see him on the Warriors. So many good looks. He corners
so many good looks.
And he would be insanely good.
Yeah, and then he can run off the screen and rows with Dre too, because that's what he does with Bam.
Yeah,
he does all those DHOs
really,
with Bam.
Underrated maker.
100%. Yes, he's like JJ. He's like a taller version of JJ Redick.
And instead of Dre lob, it could be a Duncan pop like now.
Yes,
that's disgusting.
Yes.
So
it is.
If the Warriors somehow could get Duncan Robinson, and it would be insane. But it would make Bob Myers being a god to swing something like that. Mm-hmm. The luxury tax is not our favor. I don't know if they want to pay him $15 million. Duncan is really good, but he also had a season. So
yeah, and
I mean, I think it's because coming out of when they went to the finals, not a lot of teams knew about Duncan, and I don't think not teams like knew that he was shooting like 45% from three. This season, I think he shot like 37, which is still really.
Yeah.
But from going from 45 to 7, that's kind of a large dip.
Yeah, but I do think with the increased volume of shots he's taking, but that volume you put that number of shots in any team, right? That'll help Steph, Clay, right? They can help them get more open looks because they have to respect Duncan's shot, right? So I feel like volume is also a big thing of Duncan's game. But I know on his podcast he talks about the more shots I take from three, that helps Bam, that helps draw Bam's defender towards him on the pick and roll, so Bam can roll. Helps to get Jimmy get open looks. Boy Wonder get open looks. So I feel like volume of shots always, your percentage will go down, yes, but in the long term, your team will benefit from those.
And if you look at the degree of difficulty that he takes, like he has space on some of these shots. Like they are ridiculous makes. So he is he is one of the best shooters in the NBA. And it's a shame that nobody talks about it because he is insanely good. And defensively, he might be the best defender. He's not a bad defender. He's just a hard defender, I would say.
Yeah.
So he's right in with the war, you know.
So well. I didn't even think about that until you brought it up. I was like, wow, that would be nice.
Because I heard the Warriors are like interested in him, but the Warriors are interested in so many people that at this point I have no what they're interested in. I think that would be if you could swing an Oubre for him. I say do it. I think you can do a double signing.
I do think Kawhi makes the most sense though.
If you could get Kawhi, get Kawhi.
Yeah, with their assets wise, I think Kawhi makes the most sense.
Yeah, and with all the assets we have, potentially 2 lotto picks, our future picks, Oubre, Wiseman, Wiggins. I wouldn't I to keep Wiggins, but if we're getting Kawhi,
I would love to keep Wiggins.
I would
love to keep Wiggins.
Buy Wiggins.
Yeah. Dude, Wiggins had a really good year this year.
He did.
As much as people crap talk him, you know, he had a really, really good year in my opinion. I think this is one of his best years.
And even though his points weren't crazy, defensively, he was insane.
Oh, he was great defensively. Yes.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he made second team. Like, I don't think he will, but it'll be nice to get the recognition of him making second team because
I agree.
He made leaps.
Yeah. And shooting wise, I haven't seen him shoot that well in a long time.
No, he was confident taking his shots too. You know, all his like turnaround jumpers. Oh, he looked good. He looked real good.
Yeah. Even if he can get, as much as I hate to say it, but Paul George, you could do a Kelly Oubre Paul George swap. I don't know how clean that is. We'd have to give up more. But if we don't have to give up our picks, maybe pick.
Can we get Paul George in number 24 and not number 13?
I'm cool.
I want Indiana Paul George.
I want Indiana Paul George. I don't want this Paul George.
Yeah, that was when he was cool, you know, dunking on Birdman and everything.
Oh, I don't want Pandemic P.
No, I don't want Pandemic P either.
I mean, the Warriors have a lot to think of. I think I've heard that they're probably gonna let him let Oubre walk outright because they don't want to pay for what they have to return.
That's true.
Which I would say, like, this is like the Blade situation, but when you realize how much they are above the tax, like a simple $10 million contract turns into like a $30 million contract point. So
yeah,
I don't blame them at all because that's insane.
The luxury tax is a real thing, guys.
And Joe Lake, I salute him for saying, take money. Here's my credit card. Just go swipe it. Okay. So it's insane that he's okay with spending that money. Because I can't.
The last time he did that was what? That first year we got KD, right?
Yeah.
That was our worst year in luxury tax, right?
Yeah.
So we had to expand our bench again because we basically gave up everyone.
Yeah, I think we highly recovered since then.
Yeah, it was a rough comeback still.
And then acquiring Wiggins was as good as he's been. It has been tough because of the luxury tax.
I didn't like it only because I know we could have got more for D'Lo.
Yeah.
We could have got so much more for D'Lo.
Yeah, but I think what they coveted was the pick.
Yeah, think about it, man. That's a good pick this year.
Because if the Warriors don't get the pick this year, we get next year's pick.
Yeah,
saying the Timberwolves will be bad next season, but if for whatever reason pick turns out to be the number pick, there's Chet Holmgren, there's I don't want him because he's super skinny.
No,
Imani Bates.
Imani Bates, yeah.
Like KD, he's like 7 feet tall. He's good eyes. Insane for high school. If you get Imani Bates and Warriors, come on now. That's insane.
Yeah. It'd be so nuts, dude. So nuts.
It would be a nice way
That's
to
why.
round out career like that.
That's why I want Cat to move, right? So then the Timberwolves absolutely suck, right?
It's like at this point, like the Timberwolves, the Wizards of the West, because they just are so stubborn. They
Mm-hmm.
don't realize they're not going to contend, but they're still held on contending. And it's like Cat doesn't want to be there. D'Lo want to be there. It's not there.
No.
So
No.
I'm not sure what we want to do. And Anthony Edwards is a hell of a player, so just build around him.
Yeah. Do you understand why LaMelo's getting more votes or more consideration for Rookie of the Year than Anthony Edwards? It makes no sense to me.
His first half was just insane because he was
But
doing
Anthony
everything.
Edwards numbers though. But Anthony Edwards numbers, and he played the whole season. Does that not have to count?
I think for me, I would still go LaMelo just because LaMelo was doing everything in terms of passing. He was getting steals, rebounding. He was getting good percentages. Anthony Edwards started out really slow. His percentages weren't pretty, and other than scoring, he didn't do much. But like obviously either one, like I'm cool with them winning because Anthony Edwards was insane.
Yeah, I thought he had a great Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he had a great second half.
Yeah, like I mean he was dropping like 30 pieces.
Yeah,
as a rookie,
he was putting up numbers like that, shooting that high volume too. You know,
he proved me wrong in one season. I thought James Wiseman was good, and he still has time. But Anthony Edwards, I was like, no, he's not gonna be good. He's gonna be trash.
Mm-hmm.
He was so good, and
yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he was
great Rookie Year.
What the Timberwolves needed, essentially.
Yeah,
because but now you're looking at where is D'Lo gonna hinder his growth? Because they're both very ball dominant guards, and D'Lo is arguably
and D'Lo wants to score.
Yeah, he's not a one.
Yeah, D'Lo wants to score.
Yeah,
nope, he wants to score.
So hopefully they still like continue to fight, and then the Warriors get 2022 pick and it's number one.
I wouldn't mind the Warriors getting this year and getting Cade Cunningham, right?
If we got Cade, like that's even better than
just think about the Warriors. Just think about the Warriors winning the lottery this year. Like it's highly unlikely, but there's a chance.
And then we get the fourth pick in the draft, and then we trade that fourth pick. Why?
Or Kevin Love.
Not true for Kevin Love.
I for so many years I thought Kevin Love would be such a good fit in the Warriors, but
he would.
I think too much time just passed.
Yeah,
I know, but too much time passed already. You know, it's like they wasted 2 years. Like you could have traded D'Lo last year.
Still wouldn't. He wouldn't to Cleveland. There's no way he would have gone to Cleveland.
That's true. Because what they would have Sexland plus D'Lo. That's just weird.
I already heard that Sexton is not even in their hands.
That's stupid.
Because they don't think he's worth the max.
Dude went off this year. Dude was balling this year. As much as I don't like him, but dude was balling this year.
It could be that maybe they've seen Dame and CJ and they're like, oh, it's not working.
So they'd rather have Darius Garland. That makes no sense.
And it's like if you do all this time that you give him a max, why did you keep him? Why did you just trade him at the deadline?
Yeah, you had so many opportunities. Like he was balling this year. You could have traded him this year for sure.
Yeah,
you know.
And I heard the cap interest in Knox.
What?
That's what I too was like. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
No.
the guy with the 40.
Yeah. Okay, I have one question for you. Do you think the Milwaukee Bucks are the luckiest team in the NBA? I'll give you 3 reasons.
Yes, because of the Nets now.
Okay, right. 1, LeBron left the East.
Yeah.
2, Kawhi left the East. 3, Brooklyn's injuries.
Yeah.
They're catching a break. They're catching such a big break.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, as good as Giannis was this year, I don't think he's that talented. I just think he knows how to use his length to his abilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
He has no skill.
Yes. Chris Middleton, okay. In my opinion, Giannis is a classic definition of that one football player who thinks he can play basketball.
Yeah.
You know, with like he's like 10 feet tall and just going through your body and stuff, right? That's how I think he plays, right? Granted, you know, Chris Middleton's a shot maker. Drew Holiday is one of the best, you know, guard defenders. But if Brooklyn were healthy, that's a sweep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a sweep.
That was a clean sweep until they got injured. That was a clean sweep without Harden.
Yeah, like if Kyrie was balling. Kyrie was balling that game. They were up, and then they had that 19-2 run or whatever, and then that basically ended the game. But yeah, I just think Milwaukee's so lucky.
Yeah.
So lucky, because I thought, you know, Bud would be gone after this year, because, you know, you can't make it out of second round 3 years in a row. It's just Giannis is lucky.
I think Bud's kind of regardless.
You think so?
Yeah, because I don't think they win finals, but maybe they go, he made the finals, and they go with them. But like, you can tell he's just not a good playoff coach.
Even at Atlanta, they were just regular season teams.
Yeah, I mean, given Atlanta had to run into the hot
LeBron,
so that was tough. But that Hawks seemed good.
It was Jeff Teague, Millsap, Horford. Was Joe Johnson there? Kyle Korver. I don't know if Joe Johnson
wasn't there yet. It wasn't there anymore.
I think they had young Schroeder, right?
Yeah, they had young Schroeder.
Bazemore was there.
Bazemore.
It was a solid Hawks team, man.
It wasn't J.J. Crowd. It was the DeMar Carroll.
Because they were that one seed that year, right?
Yeah, they were insane.
Yeah.
Jeff Teague, I think he was like a one-time All-Star season. Same thing with Korver.
Mm-hmm.
They have 4 All-Stars.
Yeah. That was a solid team.
Yeah.
Regular season team.
Yeah. Bud is a really good regular season coach, but I think in the playoffs he's a lot Steve Kerr, where he just makes no adjustments. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of runs through it, and he's like, we'll get him next time. And change anything up. And to be honest, it's like he doesn't even need a jumper at this point. I'm giving up on the fact that he can shoot. Get some post move, a drop step.
Yeah.
Go
honestly,
see Hakeem, something.
Yeah, because what Brooklyn's just playing drop coverage against Giannis every single time, and you know, like they're just giving him everything. You know, and the drop coverage you're supposed to give up 2s, and then Giannis is taking the 3s. So it's like it's a win for Brooklyn.
There was no reason Giannis should lead the team in 3-point attempts.
No, not at all.
You can do that in the regular season. I don't care what you do in the regular season, because I know you're
chuck up all the shots you want.
There's no reason you should lead the team. When you had one remade, what do you?
I think he's like 3 for 24 or something like that.
Jeez.
Which is stupid. Or 4 for something. It's just it is bad. It's awful.
Like, at what point do you think he gets through his head? I should stop shooting 3 threes.
I think it's up to Bud to tell him. You know, it's like, look what the defense is giving you, right? Take advantage of it. You know, because you're driving in games 3 and 4. I've been killing the Nets, so you know, just get back to where you excel, right? Where he shoots like 60% from the paint, and then other than that, he shoots 30% outside the paint. So look at the numbers. To be honest, look at the numbers.
Yeah, and this offseason, he really needs to get some kind of mid-range.
Yeah,
he's gonna get anything he wants inside of the 3-point line, but he just like continues to be fixated on the fact that I get the numbers like so important, but you don't need a 3. You know, you don't need a unicorn. That's not what we're expecting.
Yeah, we want you to get downhill and get to the basket. That's it.
Yeah, and even go back to basket, learn how to play and make, do something. Mm-hmm. Not just I'm gonna run straight through them.
Yep, and just Euro step you and then try to dunk it or, you know, finger roll it off the glass. Yeah. That's all I can know, you know?
Yeah, Giannis has a ton to work on this. I think you're right. They're super lucky.
Yeah.
With this is their season to win. I've said that about a lot of teams, but this is essentially only chance
Yeah.
to get to the finals. This is gonna be their big break. They were supposed to be like this Nets Bucks was going to be the best series out of all the second rounders, and it's turning out to be that way. It's just injuries are derailing it at this point.
Yeah. So I just hope Harden can come back. I do think Kyrie is maybe done for a couple games, but
Yeah.
I hope Harden can find a way to come back.
Yeah, he create havoc for them.
Yeah.
You go to a KD pick and roll with Harden. God.
And we just need Joe Harris to start hitting shots too, because Joe Harris has been ice cold.
Yeah, well, it's for him. He's not getting old looks anymore.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I mean, this Bucks team, like as much as we clown it, it's a good team. Like they're a very well built team. It's just like you don't have that second star. Chris Middleton is really good, and I know he's there, but he was thrust into that closer role. He's not a closer by heart.
No.
They need that second guy, and I'm just not sure who you could get at that point. But that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for coming back. That was a lot of fun.
Of course.
Always happy to have you. You always gotta open an invite. Anytime
Go
you want to
Suns,
talk,
baby.
yeah, go Suns. I'll root for the Suns with you. But go ahead and check ours down in the description. This is a lot of fun. Please comment and subscribe. But that's gonna do it for us. So catch you guys in the next one.